going wrong? CSAT is going wrong. What is going wrong? Prelim is bar to exception. It was an exception this time. You did not appear this time. Okay, then what went wrong in previous attempts? Any idea? How many questions did you attempt? Okay. Okay, fine. So, and more questions and more negative? That happened? Okay, fine. Before I start off geography, I'll tell you about my journey. I started preparing in 2012. In the later part of 2011, I started off my preparation. Most of you are comfortable with English, right? Not comfortable with English? Anybody? Okay, right. So I started off my journey with in 2011, October 2011 to be specific. I started and I was very scared. Exam hai, first attempt, I was very scared. Exam is new. Nobody from my place had prepared. So this was something new journey that I had planned for myself. I had to give exam in 2012, but I did not give my exam in 2012 because I was scared. So I was scared, so I did not give my attempt then. I thought, okay, I've just started studying. I've just started doing my coaching. I don't know. I'll give 2013 because we decide giving an attempt based on our preparation alone. You think whether you are prepared or not. This is the only criteria that you have. This is the most important criteria, not to deny that, but this is the only criteria that we keep in mind. What should be the other criteria to be kept in mind? We'll see it. Okay, so this is the first thing, that I did not give my attempt in 2012. I gave my first attempt in 2013. Okay, the exam pattern in 2012 and 13 and 11 was, we had CSAT was included, the CSAT max were included, as in the cutoff now is for 200 and CSAT is just qualifying. Then it was, the cutoff was from 400. Okay, if to qualify from 400, and CSAT was not simply qualifying, it is competitive. So that was there. And we had two optionals then. We had to choose two optionals. So I chose one as geography, the other I chose as public administration. And I prepared for 2000. In 2012 only I had to complete my optionals. I completed my options in one full year. 2012 tak I completed my CSAT class, optional 2 class. I completed my GS class. That's what I did. And the whole, it was 4 classes. So the whole year went for 2012, went for preparation only, because it was October later we had started. So I thought it's not feasible to give 2012. I did not give 2012 attempt and I gave 2013. Thinking I will study properly. I studied properly, I gave my attempt. The cutoff I still remember. The cutoff was 241 out of 400 and I had scored at 225. So I had not qualified by 16 marks. Now is this 16 marks more or less? It is huge. If you don't qualify by 1 marks, 2 marks, it is understandable. If you don't qualify, so what would be the cutoff last year, 2022? Consider it 80 to 85. If you are not getting somewhere in the range of 80 marks, or if you're not getting somewhere in 75 marks, 75, the cutoff, the difference is huge. Okay, so I have no qualm in saying that yes, in my first attempt, the cutoff was huge. It was 241 and the difference was huge and it was 225. This is around 16 marks, which is about 8 questions correct. 8 net questions correct I need. Okay, so I realized that nahi ho pa raha. Let's do it again. So I started studying 2014 again. As I studied for 2014 again, I realized I gave my attempt. I was very confident. I had gone back home then till year in 2013. I was in Delhi. Till 2013 I was in Delhi. 14 I went back home and I studied from my home. Then I studied there and then I was very confident that I will qualify. So after prelims, as in on the date of prelims examination, I convinced my parents that I think I will qualify. I am there. So let me go back again. So they said, fine, go. So I went back to Delhi again. The best preparation that I had, the best preparation throughout my last attempt was those 9 months that I had studied at home. But one thing that I realized, that I was very anxious. Though they were my best study attempts, but I was very, very anxious because I don't know what is going on in Delhi. I had already seen Delhi. I had come back for Delhi. So I was like, I don't know what is going on in Delhi. So I was anxious, but I had prepared. If I look on the hindsight, those were my best 9 months for the preparation. The rest, they were good, but then those 9 months were the best. I just needed to have some confidence in me there. So, fine. That is the second lesson. Fine. I'm telling you some lessons. First lesson was that we decide our preparation only on the basis of, we decide the giving an attempt only on the basis of our preparation. There are many other factors like, how did the CSAT perform? Imagine this time, no matter if somebody would have said, I have prepared very well, but then CSAT was very tough. So your attempts depends not only on your preparation, it depends on what kind of papers came, not only in your prelims, but also in your mains examination. How did your optional perform? What was the cutoff them? Which paper was butchered? These are also things that actually matter. What is the number of seats this year? 2024 election year. Okay, there would be more seats definitely. 2025 they'll start reducing the seats. By the time it's 2028, 2029, the seats would be drastically low. This will be the trend you see. 2024 good seats, election year. 2025 some reduction. 2026 some reduction. 27 some reduction. 28 would be butchered. Or 27 would be butchered because 29 is election. 28 again some increase. 29 again some increase because it's an election year. So also your attempts depends on your seats, the number of seats that have come, how has your optional performed, what has been your preparation apart from these things. Second mistake that I realized is I was getting anxious for no reason because I was at my home. That I shouldn't have done. That's the benefit of hindsight that I have. Third is when I was very hopeful I will qualify 2014 attempt. So I did not qualify prelims in my 2014 attempt, but I was not knowing what would be the cutoff. I thought ki fine, I have not qualified. All I knew was I have not qualified. I was there somewhere in the whatever cutoff that says, no, range me, I was there. So I was confident, but I did not qualify. The result came and I was like, okay, by the time I was in Delhi. So I had not qualified and then I was very scared again. I was very scared again ki I have not qualified. Fine, even if it is in the cutoff range, how do you know what is cutoff range? You don't know. So I did my second mistake, not knowing cutoff. And what did I do? I started preparing for prelims again. Imagine somebody from 2012 till 2014 is preparing for prelims. This is around 3 years. And decides no that I will prepare for prelims again. So 2015 whole year I started preparing for prelims again. But yes, here I got one important lesson. When in 2014 when I was preparing, I got a very important lesson that I was missing. I don't know why I was not qualifying prelims, so I was very agitated. I have been studying, I have been a good student, I understand examination, I can comprehend well, I can apply well. Why am I not able to qualify? I was very frustrated. So I went to some of my seniors and I said, what is going wrong? I don't know. So they gave me an important advice, which is you are so overwhelmed by the content. You are studying books, you have read books, you have revised books, but you have not looked at the examination. You are not looking at what will the examination ask. You remember entire book, but you don't know what will they ask. So what is happening? You are putting too much of effort. You should at least study the examination. What is the theme that they are asking? If I say Jainism, Buddhism, or if I say ancient history, I'm taking ancient history because that has been really completed for you. Therefore, I'm taking an example of ancient history. So, ancient history starts from Rig Ved, goes to later Ved, then you talk about, then directly Mahajanpad. Okay, so Rig Ved, later Veds, then you have Mahajanpadas, then you have your Mauryans, then you have your Buddhism, Jainism, then post-Mauryans, right? Of all these themes, tell me two important themes. बुद्धिज्म जैनिज्म मैंने बता दिया अभी. Later one, Sangam, Vijayanagar. Vijayanagar is an ancient. Mauryan period. With Indus Valley civilization, जो हमने बोला ही नहीं. ठीक है, we did not even. Therefore, I said directly you are going to Mahajanpad. Indus Valley civilization is also another important theme. The point that I'm trying to make here is you should at least know that if I'm studying ancient, if I'm studying geography, if I'm studying, let's say, science tech, if I'm studying economy, what are the important themes that UPSC is asking? So that is one thing, that please know the examination. Just don't know your content, know the examination also. And the third mistake that I did was preparing for prelims throughout. What happened? 2013 didn't qualify prelims, 14 didn't qualify prelims, 15 I qualified prelims. I was studying for the whole year, I qualified prelims. But then I was knowing I will qualify only prelims. I will not qualify mains because I have not studied mains. Let's be very fair, if not studied mains, you will not qualify mains. So what is the time period between prelims and mains, anybody? 3.5 months, which is around 110 days. And how many subjects do you have? 9, batao. Papers nahi, subjects I'm asking. How many subjects do you have? Let's start off from GS1. GS1 has history. History is not one subject, but still we'll count it one subject because history has ancient, medieval, art and culture. Let's count it as one. Modern history, world history, post-independence. This is one. Okay. Second, geography. Third, society. Fourth, society, social issues, club them together. Fourth, polity, governance. Fifth, international relations. Social issues, social justice I've taken up together. Polity, governance taken together. Social justice taken together. IR. Okay. Then you have economy, disaster management and environment, science and technology, security issues. This is what, 9. Ethics 10. Optional 1, 11. Optional 2, 12. Essay, 13 papers. And how many days you have? You have 105 days. Point is, you don't have 10 days per paper. You just have around what, 7, 6, I would say 6 days. Why? Because see, of 110, if you plan to give tests, you want to write mains, we have not written single answers in life, okay, except for the university papers, wherein also we were just studying the headings, and then we're like, andar ka we will write, examiner will not check. So it's like that. So not you, we all generation are like that. We have not written. We have not written unless and until we have flair for writing, we have not written. Okay, I do not know if to the eastern sides, if some creativity is there, but to my state, my region, we were just those who wanted to study 2 + 2 = 4 and just remember things and put it on the paper, vomit, if I can use that word. Okay? Vomit it on the paper. Point is, we don't have the flair for writing. Because we don't have the flair for writing, we suffer in the examination and we've not written. So I believe you will write some test. How many tests will you write if you qualify prelims? How many tests will you write for PSIR or for your optional paper? Mock test. How many mock tests will you write for your optional? Many of you have PSIR. How many of you have PSIR? What about others? Chemistry. How many tests will you write? At least 3, some says 10. Can I keep it at, you will at least write 6 papers or at least 8 papers, matlab you will write 2 full length. So at least 2 full length becomes 2 papers, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. That is around, you write 2 full length, that is 4, and you will write 4 sectional tests. Okay, so it's around 8 papers you will write. How many papers you will write for GS? Again, can I say 8? 2 full lengths. 1, 2, 3, 4, again 1, 2, 3, 4. At least you will write 2 times. This is 8. How many essays will you write? Around 2 at least. At least 2. So this is what? 8 plus 8, 16 or plus 2. Let me say another 2 days you don't feel like studying. It's possible, no? In 3.5 months you'll not feel like studying for 2 days, or you're sick, or you're like questioning mark. So it's 8 plus 4. Right? This is around 20. And let me tell you, if you have written for 3 hours continuously, have somebody written for 3 hours mains paper continuously, you don't feel like studying for next time. You feel like you go back, you write for 3 hours. Firstly, you don't write for 3 hours, you write for 4 hours because you want to complete the paper. Still, you don't complete the paper. So you write for 4 hours, you don't complete the paper, you feel frustrated, you go back home, you start reading the model answers, and then you sleep. So point is that one day is gone. So 20 papers, 20 days is gone. So out of 105, 20 days gone, it's 85. So if I have 14 subjects, I have only 6 days for it. In that 6 days, now you can get the depth. In that 6 days, you have to revise your optional one, because you have done, probably you would know your optional, so, or you are doing your optional. So you should revise your optional ones. You should, and you should learn it also in those 6 days. So if suppose you have 6 days, you have to learn your optional paper one. Two options, optional 1, optional 2. No, but then for one optional 6 days, I'm saying per paper you have 6 days. So you have 6 days for entire history. You have 6 days for entire geography. You have 6 days for entire social justice and society. Point is, this is the other mistake that we do. We become too much focused on prelims, and we compromise what? We compromise our mains preparation. Again, what happens is, we are so biased towards prelims. Even if we watch certain previous year question, we watch previous year question only for prelims and not for mains. Previous year question not for mains. You don't watch, you don't write. Unless and until you have written previous year question for mains, it becomes really tough. Okay? So I am telling you my stories through lessons. I want to tell you the lessons through my stories, because I can tell you my story only. So 2015 I qualified mains. I had not studied mains, so I have not studied mains. How will I qualify? I did not qualify mains. Again, then what happens? You get into the cycle of mains, mains, and pre. Because from 2015, I have not stopped at my prelims. 15 I qualified, 16, 17, I qualified my prelims. All the 3 prelims that I gave, I qualified my prelims, because I had studied for prelims. So I was an expert there. But then I was into the cycle of prelims, mains, mains. Prelims you give in May, December, till September or October you give your mains. Then you go for 1 month home. Then you come back, you start studying. By the time it's again prelims preparation. Then again you study prelims. Then you again have some limited time for your mains. Then you again give the main paper. Then you go back home. Because you cannot even tell your parents, I'll not come back home. They will be like, you're coming only once in a year. You'll not even come then. So I can just barge in, reducing the time. Rather than going for 10 days, you go for 7 days. Rather than going for 10 days, you go for 5 days. That's what you can do. You can't say, I'll not come home. They'll not give you money. They'll not. So that's the form of sustenance. You have to go back home. So I was doing this. Prelims, mains, prelims, mains, prelims, mains. It was like 15, I gave prelims, I gave mains, I didn't qualify. 16, I gave prelims, I gave mains, didn't qualify. 17, I gave prelims, I gave mains, and then I didn't qualify. Then I was like, no, something is going wrong. After third attempt, I realized, no. You have 1 attempt left. I have 6 attempts, right? So you have 1 attempt left. Wait, something is going wrong again. So I waited there. 2018, I did not give my attempt. 2019 was my last attempt. So I gave my last attempt in 2019. I gave prelims, I qualified. I gave mains, I qualified, so that I can appear in the interview stage. I appeared in the interview stage also. It was last attempt, but I did not get to the list. So point is that you need to keep on planning your strategies. Sharpen the knife before you cut the wood. We just keep on cutting the wood. You sharpen your axe. Sharpen your axe before you cut the wood. Okay? So this is one thing. How do I sharpen my axe? I will sharpen my axe by knowing the examination. At least I know the examination, which is an important theme, which is not an important theme. How do I sharpen my axe? I sharpen my axe by studying. By studying and revising continuously. You will tend to forget. It's not just problem with you, everybody. If you don't revise a thing at least twice, if you have not let the thing go through your eyes at least 3 times, you will forget. We all are humans, we are not machines. You will forget. So at least you need to focus more on learning, revision, knowing the examination, application. I'll again say, understand the concept, learn and revise, apply your knowledge through your questions. Either you attempt mock tests or you write mains test. Anything. You have to do this. This is the phase that you will go to. Learn it, First, attend the class, gets your concept clear. Second, learn those concepts. Third, apply those concepts in your mock test or through writing. These are the important, and you know your examination, know the themes that UPSC is focusing upon. It is going deeper, no doubt. This year prelims examination tells that it went deeper. You need to have absolute knowledge, but the themes were same. The themes were somewhere repeating. So at least you know the themes that they actually ask the question upon. Try to know your 10-year paper, at least 5-year paper. You should remember. If you ask me any question, I'll say, okay, this was asked in 2018. This was asked in 2019. This is asked in 2012. So you need to know your papers really well. Know your examination before you appear for the examination. Again, I'll say, understand the concept, learn it, apply it in your papers by giving mock test or by writing mains examination, and also try to know your themes, try to know your previous year question. Is it clear? Yes? No? Fine. I hope you did not doze off. Okay. So I'll start off with geography. Here this was a brief journey, so that at least you know a person who knows the examination. That I know the examination, I've gone through it, I've seen it, I've seen very closely. So that's the journey there. There have been not just me, but then yeah, I'm a failure story there, but then there have been many success stories also with me. I'll keep them for some time later. Today we'll start off with geography. Okay. So my name is Dimple Nankani. I will be taking portion of geography. This time we'll start off with solar system and we'll start off with geomorphology. As in, if I talk about what is geography, I'll start off what is geography. You need to tell me what is geography. You have some idea about what is geography? What is geography? I can't hear. Somebody raise your hand and say, volunteer. Batao. Studying the earth and its surrounding. Studying the various landforms. Studying the earth and its surrounding. Okay. What do you mean by earth? Landforms. Okay. Plain plateaus. Plain. Pahad. Plain plateaus and mountains. Islands. Thoda bahut. Let's give them also some respect. Islands. What else? What else is geography? Only this is geography. You also study climatic variation. You also study the ocean aspect. What do you study in ocean? Salinity, density, temperature, and plants and animals, aquatic plants and animals. Okay. What else is geography? Interior of the earth is okay, fine. Landform. Landform is shaped because of the interior of the earth. So you have landform, you have climate, you have ocean. Yeah. Human geography. What is human geography? And why should I study human in geography? Why should I study human in geography? Better utilization of resources. Okay. Earth is my home. Right? Don't I study myself when I study my home? What is geography? Geography is the study of earth as a home of man. So it is my home. It is my place. Have you seen any other human on other planet? We are still searching, right? So it is my home. Therefore, you also need to include me in my studies. So you also study human geography. What do you study in human geography? Yes? Demography. What is demography? What is, I want to know, what is demography? Okay, so you study population geography, right? You study population, you study the distribution of population. What we are the most populous country now. India is most populous country. Every year we produce one Australia, right? So we study population, we study the population characteristics, that young population, old population, literate population, illiterate population, census, the study of demography. So you study in human geography, you study population geography. What else do you study? Okay, you study the interdependence of the link between human and environment. You study human and environment relations. You study human and environment relations, right? How is man destructing oceans? How man has made oceans as a plastic soup? How man has cut forest? How man has cut sacred groves? Okay, so human environment relation. What else? Economic geography. You study about the resources. You study about where are the resources, how do you utilize. Lithium found in Jammu and Kashmir created lot of good news in the country. So you study about the resources. What else? Society. You also study the society. What you study, this is about your population geography only. That what is the sex ratio, what is the race, what is the race, what is a tribal population, where do we have tribes, what are the important tribes of the country, population. Okay. Good morning, anybody, if it's that your alarm. Distribution of resources, economic geography, or don't urbanization. You study urbanization, that where do people live, how are the houses in this eastern part of country different from the houses in the western part of country, how have if there have been similarity, why there are similarity. So you study about the urbanization. Now it's summer time, you might see that if you roam outside on the street, you feel it is more hot outside in the street, and you feel that the outside of the streets are giving up heat. Have you heard about this term, urban heat islands? Okay. So urban heat islands, that the trees, the buildings, they absorb the heat throughout the day, and the night time the buildings, they only radiate the heat. So your urban region becomes a heat island. So if this is your buildings, they have absorbed the heat throughout, the sun heat throughout the day, and now they radiate back in the atmosphere. If this is the urban area, this is the rural area. If I look at the temperature profile, the temperature profile is like this, that if you look at the temperature profile, you'll see that this is how the temperature profile is, that in the urban area it is very, very hot, whereas in the rural areas very, very cold, comparatively cold. And this is your urban heat island. This region has become an island of heat. Okay. Why this has happened? It is because of human. We have cut forest, we have encroached the wetlands, we have polluted the lakes, we have did the buildings, tall buildings. So this is because of human. So this is all you study in the human geography. To understand this, I will start off with all of you. Have you seen solar system? Solar system videos has been seen by you. Have you done some jottings? Should I start off with solar system or should I start off with geomorphology? How many for solar system? How many for geomorphology? Tie. I'll start off with solar system. Solar system. Let's start off with some basic terms about solar system. Just the basic terms. Why you need to understand solar system is because you need to understand nebula hypothesis. Now, what is nebula hypothesis? Basically, your earth that you see today, the planets that you see today, the sun that you see today, were clouds of gases and dust. The clouds of gases, dust and debris, they came together to form the planets that we see. So firstly, let's understand some of the basic terms for solar system, and then we move on to understanding the various things. What is solar system? Solar system. What is solar system? Okay, it is very good. Solar system are gravitationally bound system. They are together because of gravity. The gravitationally bound system, which includes sun, which includes your asteroids, comet, meteoroids, and the other things. So just write about solar system. Solar system refers to gravitationally bound system, gravitationally bound system, which includes sun, planets, asteroid, meteoroid, comet, dwarf planet, etc. Okay, 97 to 99%, 97 next point, 97 to 99% of the mass of the planets, of the mass of the solar system, of the mass of the solar system is in Earth, is in Earth. So 97 to 99% of the mass is in Earth. Earth is so huge, right? Then you can write about the solar system. The solar system has been formed from, the solar system has been formed from the same disk, the same disk that rotated in the form of, nebula, that rotated in the form of the nebula. Full stop. The fact that all the solar system, all the planets, the fact that all the planets, they revolve around the sun, in the same elliptical plane, in the same plane, proves that they are formed from the same nebula. They are formed from the same nebula. Okay, so it was the same nebula, same cloud of, listen, it was the same nebula, same cloud of dust that formed your solar system. So this was the whole cloud of dust, gas, debris. The dust, gas, debris, they actually cooled, they condensed to form the planets, they condensed to form the nebula ka 99% of mass went to sun, rest 97 to 99, rest 2 to 3%, 1 to 2% forms your planet. In the planets also, you will see that this is from the same disk, and the fact that if you look at the solar system, this is the sun, you have the solar system in the same plane, Pratime, please. Yes, isn't sun bola? Did I say earth? Oh, I'm sorry, sun, not earth, sun is in the sun, not on the earth, right? Thank you for clarifying. Okay, so this, and when has the solar system been formed? The solar system has been formed around 4.5 billion years ago. This was formed around 4.5 billion years ago. The journey of the earth starts around 4.5 billion years ago. Then the earth has gone changes. The present day earth is what we see today, but the journey starts at 4.5 billion years ago. How has the journey changed? We will see this in geological time scale. How has the earth was very, very warm, it had no life. Then how did life start evolving? Where did the life form first? Oceans or the continent? What formed first, ocean or the continent? How has the life changed over the geological time, that we will see, but this is about your solar system, that 97-99% of the mass is in sun, not earth. Okay, and then you have the cloud of dust debris being formed from the they forming the same solar system, they forming the same planets, they are from the same nebula, right? The solar system includes planets like inner planet and outer planet. Inner planet and the outer planet. Inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. So this one MVEM, these are inner planets. Outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So you have two planets, inner planet and the outer planet. Inner planet is MVEM and outer planet is JSUN. Okay, MVEM and the outer planet is JSUN. Inner planet are different from outer planet. What is the difference between inner planet and outer planet? What is the difference between outer planet? This is about your MVEM. अभी इसी form में लिखना. Make it in the same format. Difference between inner planet and outer planet. Okay, fine. So the temperature is different. The temperature of inner planet is high. This has low temperature. Temperature is low. Okay, fine. The number of satellites are low here, whereas this has high number of satellites. Anything related to atmosphere? These are they have more of
Jupiter, Saturn, they have more of helium and helium gases and other gases, but here it has been cooled down and the gases has been solidified and
not cooled down. Wait, they are rocky in nature, they are gaseous in nature. Okay, they are rocky in nature, they are gaseous in nature. Keep on writing as I say. They are rocky in nature, they are gaseous in nature. Earth is not a ball of gas, but if you look at Earth has rock, Earth is terrestrial in nature. If you look at Jupiter, it is gaseous planet. It is not yet solidified to become the rocky in nature. They still have gases. Therefore, they are called as gaseous planet. But if you look at here, we have a rocky nature, then we have atmosphere. No, you can't land in Jupiter. You just can't land in Jupiter. Yeah, this is because it is rocky. It has more density. Which is the most dense planet? And which is the most dense planet? Earth is the most dense planet. Somebody said Earth is the most dense planet. Here this is more dense, this is less dense. Which is the planet that has more maximum temperature? Venus. Venus has the maximum temperature. Venus is the hottest. It is not the Mercury that is hottest, it is the Venus that is hottest. Why? Why is Venus the hottest and not the Mercury? It has thick atmosphere. What has atmosphere to do with temperature? Venus has large amount of carbon dioxide. The atmosphere of the Venus has what? Has 97% of its is carbon dioxide. Okay? So Venus has lot of carbon dioxide and therefore Venus is hottest. Which is hottest? Venus is hottest. Why? Because the atmosphere has 97% CO2, carbon dioxide in it. Okay. We are understanding the difference between terrestrial planet and the outer planet. Terrestrial planet is rocky in nature, outer planet is gaseous in nature. Terrestrial planet is smaller in size. Terrestrial planet is smaller in size, whereas the outer planet, they are bigger in size. Which is the biggest planet? Jupiter is the biggest planet. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Okay, now understand. I'll just tell you the difference. Rocky, gaseous. Smaller, bigger. Denser, less dense. Fine. They have less number of satellite, they have more number of satellite. They have high temperature, they have low temperature. I said they are rocky. Terrestrial planets are rocky in nature, and at least we understood about the temperature, why Venus has the high temperature. Okay. They are rocky in nature, they are gaseous in nature. Why are inner planet rocky in nature and why are outer planet gaseous in nature? Earth, if this is your sun, you have M, V, E, M. I said these are inner planet. This is an asteroid belt. You have J, S, U, N. These are rocky in nature. These are gaseous in nature. Why?
It's close to the sun. These planets, most number of gases initially. So these gases become dissolved and extracted through rain, and some of the parts of the gases have been formed up in as, for example, the
Partially correct, no? Partially correct. You are just talking about Earth. Has it rained in Mercury? Has it rained in Venus? Has it rained in Mars? Still, they are rocky. Why? Partially. Yes, you are partially correct. Temperature is more. So what will happen? Settle down. If the temperature is more here, these planets are near the sun. As they are near the sun, what will happen? There would be lot of solar winds. There would be lot of solar charged particle coming from sun. As there would be lot of solar charged particles that is coming from sun, what will happen? The light gases like hydrogen and helium will be what? Will be blown off. They are light. They will not settle. They will be rather blown off. Okay? So why did the gases? But unlike here, they are away from the sun. They are away from the solar winds. So what has happened? Their gases are still cool. The gases are cool here. They are away from the sun. The gases are cool. The gases have cooled here. They are near the sun. The gases have been blown off. Could they not hold the gases? No, they could not hold the gases. Why? Because they are smaller in size. So they are smaller in size. They could not hold the gases. They are bigger in size. They still hold the light gases. So why are they gaseous in nature? And if you look at the atmosphere, of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, the atmosphere is 90% is hydrogen and helium, light gases. But in Earth's atmosphere, you don't have hydrogen and helium. Why? Because the gases have been blown off, especially the light gases have been blown off. So, right, the difference between inner planet and outer planet is because the gases of the inner planet were blown off. The gases of the inner planet were blown off especially the light gases like hydrogen and helium, especially the light gases like hydrogen and helium. The inner planet, they were blown off by solar winds, okay? By solar winds. जहाँ लिखा है ना, they were blown off, just write by solar winds. They were blown off by the solar winds. ठीक है? In bracket you can write, in bracket here, after this point write a bracket. The outer planets, in the bracket write, the outer planets were away from, they were away from sun, and therefore were not much affected by solar winds. So the inner planet is rocky. So the inner planet is rocky, while the outer planet is gaseous. ठीक है, bracket close. Write this. The inner planet is smaller in size and therefore the gravity is low. And therefore they could not hold, and so they could not hold the light gases like hydrogen and helium. Is it fine? Okay, so there is a difference between inner planet and the outer planet. What is there between the inner planet and acha? Okay, just write some of the things about the planets, some two lines about the planet, so that you have some idea about how the planet is. Write about Mercury. Some information about the planets. Mercury. It is the smallest planet. It is not the hottest. Third point, it has rocky surface. Mercury, it has a thin atmosphere. Okay, about Venus. Next one, about Venus. It is similar to Earth. With respect to size and density. Therefore called as Earth's twin. Therefore called as Earth's twin. It is also called as morning star or evening star. Morning star or evening star, as it is visible during morning and evening. Which is more close to Earth, Venus or Mars? Which is more close to Earth, Venus or Mars? Venus पढ़ रहे हैं. Venus. It is the Earth's closest planetary neighbor. It is the Earth's closest planetary neighbor. Okay. ठीक. Venus को बोलते हैं twin, and Venus is also known as toxic twin. It's known as twin, but it is also known as toxic twin. Why? Because it has toxic clouds. ठीक है. So right, Venus has toxic atmosphere. Toxic atmosphere filled with CO2 and sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. Therefore it has large greenhouse gas effect. Large greenhouse gas effect. Therefore it is hottest. Therefore it is the hottest planet. You can write in bracket Venus atmosphere. Venus atmosphere has %97 CO2. Okay, 97% of CO2. So this is about your Venus. Write the next one, Mars. We are not writing about Earth. We are directly moving to Mars. अच्छा, एक और चीज. Venus rotates what? Venus rotates from east to west. Unlike Earth, Earth rotates from west to east. When looked from the northern pole, the Earth's rotation is counterclockwise, right? It is counterclockwise, whereas Venus rotation is east to west. So the sun rises in the Venus on the west side, whereas sun sets in the Venus on the east side. So you can write the Venus rotation. The Venus rotation is from east to west. East to west. Therefore, sun rises in the west. Sun rises in the west and sets it on the east. And sets on the east. In Venus, unlike Earth. Is it fine? Mercury, Venus. Now write about Mars. Mars. It is said that two of the planets, Venus and Uranus, they were hit probably by a body. So they were also rotating west to east only. Everybody rotates from west to east, but they were hit by the body, and therefore that changed their rotation. Same is the case with the Uranus also. If you look at Uranus, Uranus tumbles. Uranus tumbles on its atmosphere. Uranus tumble karta hai. If I can have that, I don't think I would have it. No, I don't think. No, I don't have it. I'll show it to you tomorrow. That how does this tumbles on its side, like a child tumbles on its side. So it was hit by a body, and then it happened. Sorry. You can see it. Yeah, you can have a look here also. You can have a look here, but then there was a video there. Okay, write about Mars. Write about Mars. Mars is similar to Earth. Mars is similar to Earth with respect to rotation. And tilt. What is the tilt of Earth? 23.5 perpendicular to the elliptical plane, right? 33.5 degree to the perpendicular drawn to the elliptical plane. This is your Earth. The globe also shows the Earth like this. the tilt of Mars is about 25 degree. Okay, so I said Mars is similar to Earth with respect to rotation and tilt. The tilt of the Mars is 25 degree, while that of the Earth is 23.5 degree. Mars atmosphere also has 95% carbon dioxide. Yet Mars is very cold. Is it not an aberration? Don't you think this should not be the case? We are concerned about CO2 rising in the atmosphere, and we are concerned because it will warm our planet. But Mars atmosphere is 95% of carbon dioxide, still it is very cold. Why? We said the same thing. No, Venus has 97% of carbon dioxide and Venus is very warm. Mars also has 95% of CO2, but Mars is very cold. Why? It has a very thin atmosphere. Even if it is 95% of CO2, if the atmosphere is very thin, what will happen? Nothing will happen. It cannot trap, yes, because Mars has a very thin atmosphere. Okay. Therefore, it's very cold. It has a very thin atmosphere. Okay. This was about what? This was about your MVM, inner planet. Then write about Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Jupiter. Largest planet on solar system. In bracket you can write, it is twice as massive as all the planets, twice as massive as all the other planets combined. That means if you combine all the 7 planets and their weight, Jupiter is twice that of it. Okay? How many of you are 90s kids? I don't think anybody would be. Many of them would be. Okay? Have you seen Chacha Chaudhary? No, you know Chacha Chaudhary. Sabu, pata hai Sabu? Sabu was from Jupiter. He was tall, very, very tall. Sabu. Yeah, are you all seriously watching only this Netflix? Don't remember Chacha Chaudhary? Or what is going on today? Korean drama. Korean drama, K-drama, right? I'll have to give examples from there now. So, Sabu, tallest guy, he was from Jupiter. It said he came from Jupiter. That means Jupiter is also very, very large. So, Jupiter is very large. It is massive than twice that of the other planets combined. Right. I now I'm feeling old. Okay, right. The great red spot is a giant storm bigger than the earth. A giant red spot is there a giant storm is there in the Jupiter, circulating the Jupiter. It is called as great red spot. It is actually, if you look at the size of it, it is bigger than that of the earth. The great red spot is a storm in the Jupiter which is bigger than that of the earth. Then, right, NASA's Juno mission is currently exploring this red spot. Have they asked any question on Juno recently? What was that? You read it was Juno. Where did you read? Prelims, mains में पूछा है. They've asked question on the mains. Nobody remembers? They have asked in 2000, where do you study Juno? Generally, you study Juno and details in GS paper 3, Science and Technology. But they asked in GS paper 1, they asked question that uh, NASA's Juno mission can help us in understanding the evolution of Earth. Juno's mission can tell us that how the Earth would have been in the initial phase. The Earth, what is, see, Jupiter still is in the nebula phase. Everything that has been formed in the solar system, they are formed from the nebula. There was a hot dust cloud. The hot dust cloud was cooling, condensing, contracting to form the sun, to form the planet, to form your other things. Okay? So there was a giant gas nebula. Okay, this was the nebula. The giant gas nebula was there, and it cooled and condensed to form the your present day planets, present day sun, present day other thing that you see in the solar system. And we say that the whole of the solar system was a part of the same giant nebula. This giant nebula was there. It has formed the entire solar system. So here, this is what you study in this, this is the one, a giant nebula, cooling, contrasting, condensing to form the planets. So we say still Jupiter is in this nebula phase. Jupiter abhi bhi is nebula phase mein hai. Gaseous planet is there. You can't land on Jupiter. It's a gaseous planet. So what is happening? If I study Jupiter very carefully, this is a flyby mission. NASA will fly, Juno will fly by, it will not land. So as it is flying, when it is studying Jupiter, you can at least know how was the Earth when the Earth was in the nebula phase. Everything has been formed from the nebula. So how was the Earth? How did the nebula changed to form the present day Earth? What was the relation between sun and the atmosphere, initial atmosphere? That you can study. How has the magnetic field in Jupiter? We can study that how was Earth's magnetic field in the initial time. So this was the question that they had asked in your GS paper 1 in 2017, that NASA's Juno mission can help us understand about the Earth evolution also. So it was a very unexpected question that we never expected they will ask about Juno in GS paper 1. So UPSC can give you surprises. Okay? Be prepared for that. It is all, and when it is surprise for you, it is shock for many. So don't worry about it. सबके लिए ही shocking होता है, and everybody, all of them, they try to manage it somehow. Okay? So this was about. I just wanted to give you an idea that what kind of question has been asked. You can write in case you want to write. A previous year question was, just write PYQ. Just write PYQ. That Juno mission of NASA can help in understanding the origin and evolution of the Earth. I'll repeat the question. How does the Juno mission of NASA help to understand the origin and evolution of Earth? How does the Juno mission of NASA helps us understand the origin and evolution of Earth? 2017 GS paper 1. 2017 GS paper 1 mains examination. This was the question that was asked. Fine. So this is about this one. Jupiter, the question that was asked in the examination. Moving on to Saturn. Write about Saturn. Yes. Juno mission, it's a mission of NASA, wherein it's a flyby mission. They want to study, it is flying by Jupiter. It will not land on Jupiter. As it is flying by, it want to study Jupiter. The main thing that Juno mission wants to study is that great spot. Why is the storm that is being created? One. Second, they want to understand the atmosphere of Jupiter. That what is the atmosphere composed of? If you know, the atmosphere of Jupiter is hydrogen and helium. So they want to study the atmosphere. They want to study the magnetic field of Jupiter. What is the magnetic field? How is the magnetic field behaving? How will the magnetic field evolve? They also want to study the other satellites of Jupiter. So this is the mission of NASA. Now the question that examination is asking is, your question is that just by studying Juno, how will we get to know about the evolution of Earth? So we get to know about the evolution of the Earth because it has been formed from the same nebula. Initially all was what? Initially everything was a cloud of dust and debris. So everything has been formed from the cloud and dust and debris. Jupiter is still in this phase, cloud of dust and debris. Earth was 4.5 billion years ago, Earth was in this phase. So it can help us understand this, the atmosphere. What was the initial atmosphere? It can help us that how the atmosphere will evolve. What is the relation between the solar winds and the atmosphere in details? It can know that what was the initial magnetic field of the Earth. So we can at least correlate, because this is the, this is like, Earth 4.5 billion years ago. This is how the Earth was 4.5 billion years ago. So at least we can know something about Earth. However, though it can give us some idea, it cannot give us conclusive proof, because every planet has its own journey. Somebody would have a very different journey than Jupiter would have. It is quite possible that Earth, which is at a near to sun, at a distance which is near to sun, Goldilocks zone mein, Earth is at Goldilocks zone, at a suitable distance. What is a Goldilocks zone? At a suitable distance from the sun, where the water can exist in, where it can exist in the form of liquid, it can exist in the form of gas, it can also exist in form of solid. We have ice, we have water vapor, we also have liquid water. So we are at a suitable distance, at a sweet spot from the sun. So it is quite possible that the Earth would have a very different journey, but still Juno can give us some idea. Okay? That's the whole idea there. You can try to attempt the question in case you want to. I'll evaluate some of your answers. Pehle likho, then we'll evaluate. Okay? Let's see how many of you take the challenge to write this answer. At least try writing something, and also understand while you are writing your previous year questions, there are two ways in which you can go for. One way is you write whatever you want to write. So what will happen? The examiner will give you marks. the whatever his heart says. So you write what your heart says. The examiner will give you mark whatever his heart says. A best way to learn answer writing is, while you are first, you look at the question, you brainstorm, you think about the question. Like we were thinking about the question. What is Juno? How will Juno help in understanding the evolution of the Earth? If you can think about it good, then do some research on the internet. Then you write answers by researching it. At this point of time, we are at a very nascent stage in answer writing. So we will not know much. So do research, then you write your answers. Once you are done with that, at least you will have, and if you do keep on doing this for, let's say, 50 answers, at least you will have 50 good answers, rather than having 50 answers which your heart felt were. It's better to write 50 researched answer. Once you have 50 researched answer, you try to learn those answers and then try to replicate the same thing in your different answer sheets. So have 50 good answers, 50 appropriate answers, rather than having 50 answers which were probably not as researched. So at least you will learn something. We are not at this stage wherein if I give you a test and you will be able to write. We are not at that stage right now. We will get that stage around 4 or 5 months later. But at this stage you want to learn. So you can learn answer writing by researching. Many of my students ask, ma'am, should we write without looking? I said, why you want to torture me? Okay? So at least look at the internet and then write, and at least you learn in that. At this point we are not testing ourselves. At this point we are learning. 5-6 months down the line, 4-5 months down the line, then we'll get into the testing mode. Now the point is of learning. You have to learn. Okay? So you can attempt an answer, you can look at the internet. It's an open book exam. You want me to break the question? Okay, fine. The question is, so some of you will write, and I'm sure. Chalo, good. Okay. The question is, how does Juno mission of NASA? How does Juno mission of NASA help in understanding the origin and evolution of Earth? Okay. So if I talk about in geography per se, you have 4 parts. You have introduction, you have diagram, you have body, and you have conclusion. In other answers, It is not always necessary to have diagram, but for geography try to have one diagram, because geography is about drawing maps and other things. Here in the introduction, how does Juno mission of NASA helps in understanding the origin of the, what are the keywords in this question? Think about, read the question, tell me the keywords. Keyword is the most important, 2-3 most important word. Juno mission, NASA is not important as much. Juno mission, origin and evolution of Earth. These are the two important. It is talking about Juno mission, it is talking about origin and evolution of the Earth. Now I have to do what? I have to link Juno with this thing, origin and evolution of Earth. So can I start off my introduction with what is Juno mission? What is Juno mission? Is it asking me about Juno mission? No, it is not asking. The main thing it is asking is link Juno to origin and evolution of Earth. So I start off what is Juno mission in the introduction. In the diagram, hold on for now. Juno mission can help in understanding the origin and evolution of Earth. What does origin and evolution of Earth means? What does origin and evolution of Earth means? How does the Earth evolve? How did the Earth evolve? Okay, something more deeper. So now start using those words. How did the atmosphere evolve? Earth का मतलब क्या? How did the atmosphere evolve? How did the landform evolve? What was the interaction between the gases and the solar system? What does the Earth mean here? Origin and evolution of Earth. Earth means the atmosphere. Earth means the relation of the gases and the sun. Earth means the magnetic line. What is Earth? It's like, what are you? You can describe you as a student, I can describe you as a son, I can describe you as, so how did some describe him? What does Earth mean here? Origin and evolution of atmosphere. What does Earth mean? Origin and evolution, the magnetic lines, how did they came? How did the solar winds interact with them? So here you will have to tell us that how Juno mission help in understanding. So they help in understanding the origin of atmosphere. They help in understanding the origin of the magnetism. Juno mission, how can Juno mission help me understand the relation between sun and the atmosphere? How did the sun shape it? So what will you write in body? These points you will write in the body. And what kind of conclusion can I have? What kind of conclusion can I have? Go on, I'm listening. As the Jupiter is already,
was in its earlier time, what is the composition of the gases, how it changed from lighter to denser part, what are the composition of the gases, and what are the evolution of satellite, how it has come.
Listen, you are telling me the summary based conclusion. So let me give you some idea. Conclusions can be various type. You can write about a summary based conclusion, how everything happened. Whatever you wrote in the body, you can summarize it in the conclusion. The second thing is, you can talk about the importance of anything, the importance of Juno mission, the importance of understanding the origin and evolution of Earth. There were two keywords, importance of Juno, that is something that I have written in the body part. I can write importance of understanding the origin and evolution of Earth. Why should I understand origin and evolution of Earth? I should understand origin and evolution of Earth because it helps me predict, it helps me understand the impact that the sun can have on life, the impact that it can, why is the Earth having human? I can understand it when I understand origin and evolution of the Earth. So I can write the importance part of it. Okay. So in conclusion, either I write the summary, whatever I have written, nahi samajh aa raha ho. If you are not able to understand what to write a summary, but at least write something in the conclusion. The second is, you can write the importance of it. Okay, you can write any importance. You can write the importance of Juno, or you can write the importance of origin and evolution of Earth. The third can be, in case India is doing something, like US is doing Juno, is India doing something about understanding the origin and evolution of Earth? What is India doing? If it is saying US is doing, India is also doing. What is India, or what is government of India doing? So you can write about that. So understand, when I talk about the answer writing, there can be various type of introduction, there can be various type of conclusion. It is, how do you make your answer innovative? Is by doing various type of introduction. Suppose I am asking you, how can you introduce and what can be the conclusions that you can write? Here, let's take the same question. Can I define Juno? I can go for definition based introduction, right? What is Juno? Who gave it? A very simple way of introducing. Or in the same question, I can also write why in news. Juno was in news because of NASA, this thing happened. So I can also write in introduction why in news. Either I can write a definition, for this definition would have been better, or I can write why in news, or I can also write any fact. Any fact. Let's say if the question would have been, is India, let's take a new question, is India witnessing resource crisis? The question is India witnessing resource crisis? Can I start off with the definition of resource crisis? Resource crisis is when there is population resource imbalance and there is lot of population pressure on the resource. I can start off with that, the definition of resource crisis. The second is, I can write out why was this in news? So I can say India is under resource crisis is a statement given by this person which has opened up the debate of the relation between population and resource. Why in news? Or I can also start with the fact that India has 2.4% of land, 4% of water and 17% of population. इतनी population है, 17% population है, पानी 4 ही है, 4% ही है और land तो 2.4 ही है. So am I not trying to show resource crisis? I am showing resource crisis by a fact. So there can be 3 types of introduction. Start off with a definition, start off with a context, or start off with a fact. Similarly, there can be 3 to 4 type of conclusions. What are the types of conclusions? Whenever you're doing answer writing, think what kind of introduction. Should I use definition based? Should I use fact based? Should I use why in context? And try to search it on the internet deliberately. That, okay, tell me some fact about you. Now so you have chat GPT also, right? Something that helps you everywhere. Be very careful with that, okay? Sometimes it gives you very wrong information. It says Mirabai is from Northeast. So be very careful there. Okay. So conclusion. What can be the type of conclusion? Consciously think about that while you are writing an answer. What fact based? What definition based? What why in news? Anything that was there in news. Okay. Conclusion can be yes, that can also be written. Comparison based can also be written, but that would be more appropriate in conclusion, not in introduction. अच्छा, talking of conclusion, ठीक है. यही वाला देखते हैं. Is India suffering from resource crisis? Is India suffering from resource crisis? What kind of conclusion can I write? I can write about summarization, that okay, above the, we've already seen from the above decisions, above discussions, that yes, India is suffering from the resource crisis or India is not suffering from resource crisis. You summarize whatever. अगर नहीं समझ आए exam में, if you don't understand anything in the examination, summarize it. Just repeat what you've written in the body. In case you want to get more innovative, you can talk about steps taken. Either the steps taken by India or the steps taken by the world. Because India is suffering from resource crisis, or therefore there have been many steps taken by government, like rainwater harvesting, ecosystem based approach. What is that? Circular economy, refuse, reuse, recycle, restructure, everything. We are going for circular economy. We are refusing, we are reusing, we are trying to make the economy more circular because there is resource crisis that is going on. So some steps taken by government or some steps taken by world. What is the steps taken by world? The sustainable development goals, that we should go for less exploitation. We should go for mindful exploitation, not mindless exploitation. Okay? So either you can write summarization or you can write the steps the government has taken or the world at the world what steps are being taken. Then you can also write in the conclusion the importance of it. Understand the importance that India is going for resource crisis. Because it is important to understand what you do, you try to preserve, you try to conserve. Okay? You try to do it at the community level. So importance based conclusion can be written. एक और example लेते हैं. One question that your UPSC examination asked. All of you, do you know what is rocks? Rock, there are three types of rocks. What are the three types of rocks? Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Okay. What question did they ask in 2022? They asked, give us the characteristics and types of primary rocks. What are the characteristics of the primary rock? What are the types of the primary rock? Characteristics of primary rocks are what? They are crystalline. They don't have fossils. They cannot be separated into layers. They are not layered. Okay. Types can be on the basis of where are they formed, intrusive or extrusive. Types can be on the basis of silica content, that whether it is acidic rock or the basic rock. How will you introduce and how will you conclude? I'm just on the introduction and conclusion. The types and characteristics of the primary rock. How can you introduce? You are talking about the formation of the primary rocks, okay? Or anything else. Basically, is it not the definition you are saying? Igneous rocks, you are talking about definition only. No, igneous rocks are the rocks that have been formed by the cooling and solidification of lava. You talked about definition. आपने definition based introduction किया. Anybody think of any other way of introduction? One is definition is done. Now can you write why in news or can you write a fact? What fact will you write? अरे कुछ तो बोलो, बस बोलो. लिखना एग्जाम में वही प्रेशर रहता है that you have to write something. Definition, 90% of you will write definition only because that is easy. That is what you study. Right. So primary rocks are the most fundamental rocks, and they form the basement rock of the continents. They form the basement rock of all the other rocks. From them various other rocks. Nearly, just write something, 60% of all the continental rocks are igneous rocks. Okay, you wrote a fact. Point is, we did not start off with the definition. We wrote a fact. We wrote a line and we wrote a fact. Why in news? Just write something that I do not know for now, but you can write about why in news that igneous rocks, there have been many studies done of the various rocks, and it was seen that igneous rocks are the most fundamental rocks, and these are the basement rocks as done by this country. I'm not using a fact, I'm not using a definition, I'm just using why in news. Okay? Or you can say there was a new microplate detected along Zealandia, which was made up of igneous rocks or which was made up of primary rocks. So this shows the importance of the most fundamental rocks. New Zealandia plate aaya. The New Zealandia plate is made up of igneous rocks. Any plate, any new plate that will come, or seafloor spreading for that matter. Seafloor spreading is causing what? Igneous rocks. So you can either start off with definition, either start off with why in news or with a fact. Again the same question. What are the characteristics and types of igneous rocks? You started off, let's say, with a definition. For this answer, the best would have been definition. That igneous rocks are the primary rocks. They are formed by the cooling and solidification of magma or lava. You wrote about the types. You wrote about the characteristics. What will you do? Write in conclusion. What will you write in conclusion? How is the story going? What is igneous rocks? What are the types of igneous rocks? What are the characteristics of the igneous rocks? इतना आपने लिख लिया. This you have already written. What kind of conclusion will you write? You've already written characteristics, no? So you are writing summarization. If you are writing characteristics again, you are writing summarization. So who said importance? You said. दोनों importance की बात करो. You are talking about minerals मिलता है. You are talking about importance. The same thing. That igneous rocks are the repository of minerals. They are used in building material. They are used for construction, granite. Okay? So you are talking about what? You are talking about the importance of it. You getting it? These are the types. Or you can write about that. Yes, igneous rocks are. If igneous rock नहीं होता, कोई और होता, तो आप steps लिख लेते. They are very important. Government has taken following steps. ठीक है? World we have taken following steps. Something is important only then you are taking certain steps, right? So these steps have been taken. So you can either write steps. If you don't understand, write the summarization. कुछ नहीं समझ आ रहा. So at least we'll write the summarization that igneous rocks have these characteristics. These are the types of igneous rocks. Again, the same thing that you have written in the body. So you can either have summarization, or you can have importance, or you can have the steps that have been taken. Clear? Question clear? Hai? How do you introduce? How do you conclude? And body part is the main part where it is seen that whether you have understood the demand of the question or not. If you have understood the demand, they will at least give you 40%. of the marks. See, I have, through my mains experience, I have not seen anybody getting less than 60 marks in mains in one paper. The least that I've always seen if the paper has gone wrong is 60 marks, right? So out of 250 marks, 60 marks to pakke. Okay? If you write everything, that is your consolation prize that UPSC give, participation prize. Okay? At least they give you 60 marks in mains paper every time. Okay? Real fight is that 60 has to be turned into 110. 100 marks at least. You need to score at least in GS papers at least 400 marks. The real fight is 60 to 100 kaise le jaye. You will be given 60 marks, that is for sure. If you attempt the entire paper, 60 marks are there. Point is that 60 has to be turned into 100, which is around 40 marks, which is around, on an average, it is 2 marks per answer. 20 questions are there, 2 marks per answer you have to get. So you'll have to write something more so that your examiner gives you that 2 marks extra. What does that 2 marks extra means? If you attempt as per the demand, 1 marks is secured. Okay? 1 mark is definitely secured if you are attempting as per the demand of the question. It is very important to understand the demand of the questions. Here, what are we doing are very simple questions. Demand is not as tough. If you look at polity, the questions are big, right? To understand that demand is something you'll have to crack. तो यही समझना कि क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है, to understand कि what is he is asking me, that is the most important thing. I do not know if you've seen aspirants. Have you seen aspirants? This Sandeep भैया वाला question, he has a very famous dialogue saying, यही नहीं समझ आ रहा है क्वेश्चन क्या है, क्योंकि वही समझना सबसे टफ होता है. आंसर तो है, बट क्वेश्चन क्या है, that is the most difficult thing to understand. If you understand that much and if you write as per thing, you will at least get 80 marks, which is around 80 out of this thing, out of 125. उतना तो मिल जाएगा. If you are writing as per demand and if you are completing paper, you will definitely get 80 marks. From that 80, so 60 to 80 की journey समझ गई. What is 60? You will get 60 only by participating. If you write everything, you will get 60 marks. That is the least you could get. 80 is something if you understand the demand. That means +1 for every answer. From 80 to 100 is where you will have to make your effort for giving him something extra, something more than your competitor is giving. Everybody here, what you will have to look at your sheets, other sheets, and then you will have to see, okay, this is something good, this is something good. More than that, you have to look at the topper's copy, that you will see that what are they doing, why are they getting 100 marks and why am I getting 80 marks if I understand the demand, and or why I am getting 60 marks. You are getting what you have to do. Toppers copy are available. Internet has made it this thing very nice that you would at least know what are toppers doing. Okay. So this was the question, the type of introduction, the type of conclusion. Consciously try to write answers and consciously try to implement these things, or at least if you're not writing, consciously look with this mindset the toppers copy कि हाँ यही तो कर रहे हैं, this is what they are doing. ठीक है. Moving on, let's start off. We were at the solar system, the planets, we were discussing the planets. We were at Saturn, right? Right about Saturn. Saturn, it is the lightest planet. It is the lightest planet. And has density less than that of water. And has density less than that of water. It is also a gas planet. It is also a gas giant planet. Okay. Please write about Uranus. It is also a gas giant planet. It is also a gaseous planet. It is also a bigger planet. Okay. Then write about Uranus. It is a ice giant. It is a ice giant. The atmosphere is majorly made up of hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen and helium. Uranus rotates on its side. Uranus rotates on its side. Then write about Neptune. Neptune it is cold. Cold icy planet. It is the only planet in our solar system that is not visible to naked eye. All of you done? Okay. Yes. Solar winds refers to the charged particle that is coming from sun. What is sun basically? Sun is nothing but a ball of gas. Okay. What is sun? How do you imagine sun? Sun is a ball of gas. It's a ball of gas that has fission going on, and it is very, very hot. Why it is? It has light of its own. It has heat of its own. Why does it have a light and heat of its own? Because while nebula was coming and cooling and contracting, much of the mass went to where? Much of the mass went to sun. So it is very heavy as compared to other planets. So because it is heavy, there is lot of gravitational collapse that is happening. So there is light and heat of its own. So it is a ball of gas. As it is a ball of gas, it gives out certain charged particles. That giving out of charged particles is called as what? Solar winds. When the charged particles increase in intensity, you call this as solar flare. What is solar flare? The high intensity solar winds. Okay. So you want to write, you can write something. Solar wind is equal to solar winds. Solar winds are charged particles that are ejected from sun. Charged particles that are ejected from sun. As sun is a ball of gas. Sun is a ball of gas. Okay. You can also write when the solar winds are of large intensity. When the solar wind is of large intensity, then it is called as solar flare. Okay. Uranus लिख लिया, Neptune also written. So we have written about the solar system. The solar system and the planets. Now tell me, what we had 9 planets. We had Pluto as planet. Then Pluto was initially we had पढ़ा है ना ये कि मैं नहीं पढ़ा स्कूल में. I thought by the time you are studying, Pluto was never a planet. ठीक है. Yeah, Pluto was a planet before. Then Pluto was removed from planet to become a dwarf planet. What is the difference between planet and a dwarf planet? Dwarf is dwarf mass. Except for that, it is a dwarf planet. It is a small planet. It does not have as much mass. It is no, that's not the case. The point is, for anything to be declared as planet, it needs to have 3 criteria. One, it should orbit around the sun. One, we'll write. Second, it should be massive body. It should be a massive body to assume a rounded shape. It should be a massive to assume round shape. Second, it should be dominant body. That means it should clear its neighborhood. Okay. Pluto did not meet the 3rd criteria. Pluto could not clear its neighborhood. So for anything to be declared as planet, it should be massive. It should assume a spherical shape. It should orbit around sun. Second. Third, it should have clear neighborhood. That means in the neighborhood, there should not be much of the dust debris. It is massive, it is dominant, so the gravity will pull it, or the gravity would deflect it. But here, because Pluto is not as massive, because Pluto is not as massive. ठीक है, it assumed a spherical shape, it orbited around the sun, but it was not a dominant body, and therefore there are a lot of dust debris around its orbit. It could not clear its orbit, and therefore Pluto is not a planet, and Pluto is a dwarf planet. So write the heading: planet and dwarf planet. Planet and the dwarf planet. As per International Astronomical Union, as per International Astronomical Union, a planet must meet three criteria. First, orbit around the sun. Second, should be massive enough to assume a spherical shape. Should be massive enough to assume a spherical shape. Third, must have cleared their neighborhood. Around its orbit. ठीक है, in bracket you can write, it implies that the planet must be a dominant body, so that while its interaction with the other bodies, it can either consume them, or it can divert them, It can either consume them or it can divert them. या तो अपने आप में ले लेगा और डिस्ट्रॉय कर देगा, या तो उनको डाइवर्ट कर देगा. Either it will change their path because it is a dominant body. Pluto, what was Pluto doing? It was having a orbit. It was orbiting around the sun. It had a spherical shape also, but it was not a dominant body. It could not clear its neighborhood, and therefore what did we say? Pluto is a dwarf planet and not a planet. So you can write Pluto did not meet the third criteria. Pluto did not meet the third criteria. And therefore was declared as dwarf planet. Do you know some examples of dwarf planet except Pluto? बताओ, some dwarf planet except Pluto. लिखो. Right, dwarf planet. Yes, Ceres. That is there. So why are you so underconfident? Say yes, Ceres. I know, only you know Ceres. Right. The example of dwarf planet are the examples of how many? Yes, correct. That is also there. The example of dwarf planets are Ceres, 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 comma Pluto, Ceres, Ceres, comma Pluto, comma make, 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 Huame, Haumea, Huame, and Eris, Eris. What are the examples? I'll repeat: Ceres, Pluto, Huame, Make, and Eris. 5. Okay. I am asking you one out of this. There is one dwarf planet out of these 5. Ceres, Eris, Huame, Make, Pluto. There is one dwarf planet which is in the asteroid belt. Out of these 5, there is one dwarf planet which is in the asteroid belt. Which is that one? Ceres. Ceres is in the asteroid belt. Okay, we'll write. You've written about planet and dwarf planet. Write 2 terms before you say, before I start off. Write about Kuiper belt. Write about Kuiper belt. Kuiper. Kuiper belt. See, much of the dwarf planet that we see, except for Ceres. Ceres is in asteroid belt. Other dwarf planets are where? Other dwarf planets are in the Kuiper belt. So, what is Kuiper belt? Beyond Neptune, there is a belt. Beyond Neptune, there is a belt called as Kuiper belt. So, right, beyond Neptune, zone of numerous rocks, is the Kuiper belt. The Kuiper belt. You can write Pluto is a part of Kuiper belt. Pluto is a part of Kuiper belt. Okay. This is Kuiper belt, and can you see a dotted line there at the edge of Kuiper belt? That is something, can I say that is the edge of solar system? The solar system ends there. That is the edge. The last edge of solar system is that dotted line. What is that called? Anybody? Called this as Oort cloud. Okay. What is Oort cloud? Oort cloud is a hypothetical zone. We'll write. It's a hypothetical zone which marks the end of the solar system. Okay. So write Oort cloud, OORT, Oort cloud. It is much bigger than a Kuiper belt. It is much bigger than a Kuiper belt. It has gas, dust. It has gas, dust, and ice. It has gas, dust, and ice. And it marks the edge. It marks the edge of the solar system. It marks the edge of the solar system. And is a hypothetical zone. And is a hypothetical zone. Okay. So now you understand in the solar system, you understand what are planets, what is a Kuiper belt, what is asteroid, what is your Oort clouds. Planets के लिए एक planets के लिए we've seen some information, MVEM, JS, UN. Write about asteroid belt. Write about asteroid belt. और okay ठीक है लिख लो asteroid belt. Okay. Now understand this. When I talk about asteroid belt, before that let me understand one particular term that is called as meteoroid. All of you understand what is a meteoroid? Who has not heard this term? Anybody? Okay. So basically what was your nebula? Nebula was the cloud of dust, gas and debris. Okay. Some of the dust, gas and debris, they came together to form planet, but still your cloud has, still there have been dust and debris that is there. Some of the dust debris, they came and became the planet. Some of the dust and debris, they came together and became the sun. But still there is dust and debris that is there, which is not a planet, which is not a sun. And but this dust, gas, debris, this dust, this rock is orbiting around the sun. What do we give them? We give them an umbrella term called as meteoroid. What is meteoroid? Any rocky substance or gas or metallic compound that are orbiting around the sun. Any dust, gas, rocky substance that is orbiting around the sun is called as meteoroid. Mostly it is rocky and metallic in nature. Rocks and metals that orbit around the sun is called as meteoroid. If meteoroid is found at a specific belt, if meteoroid is found at a specific belt, the belt between Mars and Jupiter, we call this as what? We call this as asteroid. So what is asteroid? A rock or metallic lump that orbits around the sun and is found in a specific belt between Mars and Jupiter, between inner planet and the outer planet. Okay? So that is asteroid. So write about asteroid. Asteroid refers to the rocky and metallic substance that orbit around the sun, and are found between Mars and Jupiter, Why should an asteroid belt be there? Why should an asteroid belt be between Mars and Jupiter? I say rocks can be anywhere in the solar system, right? It can be here, it can be here, it can be here. Rocks can be anywhere, and I said there is a particular belt where you see lot of rocks, where you see lot of debris. The entire belt of rock is being formed. Rocks can be anywhere in the solar system. They can orbit around the sun from anywhere, from beyond Neptune, beyond Saturn, beyond Mercury, between Venus and Earth also there are rocks. But then there is a whole belt between Mars and Jupiter. Why? It is to do with Jupiter's gravity. It is to do because of Jupiter's gravity. So here these rocky substances, they are not a part of either system. They are not becoming one system. वो एक system नहीं बन रहा है पूरा. It could have become, there is so much of debris that it could have become one system. But then Jupiter was so dominant that it did not allow it to form a new planet. And then what happened? The entire mass dispersed off. It could have become one planet, but then Jupiter did not. Jupiter had a lot of gravity. So gravity interfered with this. They're coming up together and they got dispersed off between Mars and Jupiter. So write please that the gravity of Jupiter prevented this mass to form a single body. Some names of asteroids are Ceres, Vesta, 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 Pallas, 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 Ceres, Vesta and Pallas. Yes, actually the umbrella term is meteoroid. That meteoroid that is found between the belt of Mars, between Mars and Jupiter, you will call this what? Asteroid. Okay, so it's like an umbrella term. We all are human species. Okay, but at home somebody might be called as Chintu, Tinu, Minu. So Chintu is the name of home. So that meteoroid that is found in that belt is called as asteroid. So asteroid उसी belt पे ही मिलेगा. The belt between, you will be called Chintu only at your home. It's like that. Otherwise, you can be called as human species. Fine. So my asteroid is always between Mars and Jupiter. I gave you 3 name of asteroids. You can write 50% of the उसी में 3 में dash करके लिखे, dash करके 50% of the asteroid belt. 50% of the asteroid belt. 50% of the mass of the asteroid belt. 50% of the mass of asteroid belt is found in these 3 asteroids. Is found in these 3 asteroids. Okay. Then write about meteoroid. Write about meteoroid. Meteoroids are, these are the lumps of rock and metallic objects. These are the lumps of rocks and metallic objects that orbit around the sun. That orbit around the sun. Meteoroid can be found throughout the solar system. Meteoroid can be found throughout the solar system. From inner rocky planet to the remote reaches of Kuiper belt. Remote reaches of the Kuiper belt. Is it fine? Okay. So this is about your meteoroid. एस्ट्रॉइड आपको सिर्फ उसी बेल्ट पे मिलेगा, मार्स एंड इसके बीच, मार्स और जुपिटर के बीच में. Some of the asteroid can also be dwarf planet, like we saw Ceres. Ceres is found in that belt. Ceres is a body that orbits around the sun. It is a rounded body, but it has not yet been able to clear its neighborhood. ठीक है, neighborhood पे तो दिख ही रहा है. You have other asteroids also. Fine. Now understand what are we doing? We are doing meteoroid. 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 What is this? This is an umbrella term. Rocky substance, metallic substance that can be found anywhere in the solar system. कहीं पे भी solar system में ये मिलेगा. Now this is, let's say, your sun. MEEM. Okay. So any rocky substance can be found anywhere in the solar system. Rocky and metallic substance found anywhere in the solar system. We call this as what? We call this as meteoroid. Now this meteoroid can come to Earth. Dekhi, come to the Earth. As it tries to come to the Earth, this is my Earth. This is the Earth's atmosphere. Atmosphere is what? The blanket. It's like a blanket of gas that protects me. So blanket protects me. So blanket of gas that protects my Earth is called as atmosphere. So atmosphere is the blanket of the gases that is protecting my Earth surface. So here a meteoroid is coming. What will happen? This meteoroid will tend to, if it is coming to the Earth surface, this is the Earth surface, a meteoroid is coming on the Earth surface. The atmosphere here is trying to burn it. Okay, the atmosphere, because it is coming at a very high speed, there would be friction. Because of friction, the atmosphere will give it a friction and it will try to burn it. When that meteoroid is burning, we call this as meteor. Meteor is some meteoroid that has burnt while in coming with the contact with the atmosphere and the friction offered by the atmosphere. Despite that, if a meteor burns completely, very good, my Earth is protected. But if it does not burn completely and some substance reaches the Earth's surface, we call this as meteorite. Meteor, Meteorite. So there's a difference between meteoroid, meteorite and meteor. ये छोटा वर्ड है, ये वो meteorite है जो जल चुका है और छोटा हो गया है, ठीक है. This is a small word, meteor. It has burnt up. This is meteoroid, the whole umbrella term. और ये अर्थ पे पहुंचा है. This has reached the earth surface. If you want to have a picture look, you can also have a look at the picture here. So probably you will develop some memory there. Here. Yes, you can call meteor as a shooting star. You can call meteor as a shooting star. You can call other things as the shooting star. So this is the comet. We'll see comet. This is your asteroid. Okay. This is the asteroid, a rock metallic lump. A meteorite is trying to reach the earth's surface. This is a meteor. Okay. This is the meteor. It has completely burnt up. See, this has not completely burned up. Can you still see some rock? It will tend to reach the earth's surface. A meteorite reaches the earth's surface. It reaches the earth's surface. That is your meteorite. A meteoroid is an umbrella term. Any rocky substance, any rocky metallic substance that orbits around the solar system is meteoroid. Something that burns up completely, is called as meteor. Okay. So the three terms, meteoroid, basically a metallic or the rocky substance orbiting the solar system, can be found anywhere. As it tries to enter the earth's atmosphere, it gets burned by the earth's atmosphere. We call this as meteor. This, when it reaches the earth's surface, we call this as meteorite. R-I-T-E. ठीक है. इसका जैसे हक है आना. Right is, it's my right to go to the earth's surface. Okay. So write about the term meteor and meteorite. Meteor. When meteorite. When meteoroid. meteor लिख रहे हो, METEOR, ठीक है, उसमें कोलन डाल के when meteoroid, METEOROID, when meteoroid enters the earth's atmosphere, at high speed and burn up the fireball or shooting star, the fireball or the shooting star is called as meteor. It's called as meteor. ठीक. Then write meteorite. A meteoroid. While entering the earth's atmosphere, may not completely be burnt up, and might hit the ground, It is called as meteorite. Fine. Now, one question to you. Suppose a meteorite is hitting the earth's surface. Can it create a depression on the earth's surface? Yes. Do you know some lake that has been formed? Some depression that has been formed? Yeah. Lonar Lake in Maharashtra. Lonar Lake. Right? Lonar Lake in Maharashtra is a meteorite. Created lake. Is a meteorite created lake. Okay, fine. So that was about your meteorite. Write the term comet. Write a term, comet. Now what is a comet? See, what is a meteoroid? A rock and a metallic lump that is found orbiting in the solar system. Now suppose in between this rock and lump, this is a rock and lump, this is the rocky substance, this is the metallic substance. In between this rocky substance and the metallic substance, there is a gas. There is a gas that is there, and the gas is what? The gas has solidified. Solidified gas. Solid is something that has a shape. Has a shape and fixed this dimension. Liquid is something that is, if I saw it does not have a fixed shape, but it has a constant volume. Volume is constant, but the shape can change. A gas is something that does not even have a fixed shape, does not even have a constant volume. How are you saying a solidified gas? Now I am awake. Okay. Solidified gas is something, suppose a gas, when it is at a very low temperature, it will solidify. The nature is gaseous. When you just heat, it will not have a same dimension, it will not have a same volume. But if you cool certain molecules of gases at a very low temperature, it will become like a solid. We have examples in the oceans also. Methane gas hydrates. The methane gas at the ocean bottom, because of low temperature, can solidify. When a little heating is done, it will come into its original form. ठीक है, मतलब असली रूप बाद में दिखाएंगे. It's like that. It will not have constant volume, it will not have constant shape also. But here, what is happening? At beyond the Neptune, okay, in the Kuiper belt, it's very, very cold. As it is very cold, the gases can solidify and they can become a part of rocky and metallic lumps. The rocky metallic lump and the gases can solidify to become a perfect body, to become a small lump. So what is a comet? The composition of comet is metallic plus gas plus your any rocky substance. That is something found in the Kuiper belt. Now this is my sun. Now this is my sun here. Okay. As this also starts orbiting, this also starts orbiting. So this starts orbiting. It starts moving around the sun. As it moves around the sun, what will happen? As it is coming near the sun, okay, the gas starts warming. The gas starts warming. As the gas starts warming, the gas is heating and the gas starts heating. The gas starts heating and develops a tail. Because so this was gas, this is the sun. So as it is moving near the sun, it starts heating, the gas starts evaporating. As the gas starts evaporating, what does it have? It has a tail. So while the comet is coming around the sun, as the comet is coming around the sun, as this comet is coming around the sun, as it is coming around the sun, the gas starts evaporating. The gas starts evaporating. So what does a comet has? A comet has a specific composition: rock, metal plus gas. Meteor did not have a gas. Meteor was burning because of the friction offered by the atmosphere. But comet has gas, metal and rock. As the comet starts orbiting around the sun, the gas starts evaporating. As the gas starts evaporating, what does a comet have? A comet has a tail. A comet has a tail. And the tail is always directed away from the sun. Obviously not towards the sun. The gases are evaporating in the opposite direction. So comet has a tail. A comet tail is directed away from the sun. The comet will have gas plus rocks plus metallic substance. Clear? So write about comet. Write about the comet. A comet are composed of frozen gases. They are composed of frozen gases together with the piece of dust. Together with the piece of dust rocks, and metallic minerals. Piece of dust, rocks and metallic minerals. Full stop. As comet orbits closer to sun, the gases heat up, and glows into a glowing tail due to evaporation. Right? The comet generally originates in the Kuiper belt. They generally originate in the Kuiper belt. Okay, you can write one line. See, always understand what is a atmosphere. Atmosphere is nothing but a gases, blanket of gas. Okay. So while the comet is orbiting around the sun, it also will develop an atmosphere of its own, because gases they develop the atmosphere of its. So right, as comet orbits around the sun, it develops a small atmosphere of its own, called as coma. COMA. As comet orbits around the sun, it develops an atmosphere of its own called as coma. What is coma? An atmosphere of the comet. Coma is nothing but the atmosphere of the comet. The gases that is surrounding the comet is called as coma. Okay. Now, one more term and then you can take a break. The term is pole star. All of you know what is a pole star? What is a pole star? Batao. This is your Earth. Earth has a tilted axis. The Earth has a tilted axis. The tilted axis, this is the pole star. Okay. What is a pole star? A pole star is a bright star. Where? In the bright star, in the sky. We've taken what? We've taken a bright star in the sky. In the sky, we've taken a bright star. And we saw that this bright star was actually aligned to the axis of rotation. The Earth rotates around its axis. So this axis of rotation was aligned to a bright star called as pole star. What does the pole star then help? Pole star helps in telling me that what is the north direction. Pole star will always point towards the north direction. So this is the way my Earth is rotating. This is aligned to the axis and we know that this is the north star. This is the north star or the pole star. How can you spot pole star? You can spot pole star by looking at a constellation. Which constellation? Saptarishi. If you observed, I believe यहाँ stars दिखते होंगे रात को. नहीं, यहाँ भी नहीं दिखते. Light pollution is here also. So here you have a Saptarishi, the Great Bear. If you can locate, I used to locate at my place when I was in 7th class. I had studied this in the 7th class first, and I was locating. I could see then. I can't see this in urban cities like Delhi. So it becomes very difficult to even see some star. So this is the Saptarishi. It's like a question mark. If you connect the two dots, the first two dots, and if you point out, if you take a straight line, you can see the pole star. This pole star helps me know what is the north direction. So north, south, west and east. If this is the pole star, I can know that what is west, what is east, what is south. Okay. So write about the pole star. I will see whether you have understood the concepts or not after the break. We'll do some of the MCQs after the break. So please write pole star. Pole star is a star. Pole star is a star which is nearly aligned which is nearly aligned with the axis of Earth, with the axis of Earth. Earth's North Pole, Earth's North Pole star is Polaris, and is aligned, with the tilted axis. This star helps in navigation. Star helps in navigation. So like we have Polaris for the north, do we have something for the south? If I go in the south, how will I manage? So there is a star called as Sigma Octantis, which is there for south, but it is not very useful because it is not very bright, so you cannot see that. So you should know something that हाँ south के लिए भी कुछ है, but not very useful. Just write that there is no south star, as useful as Polaris, ठीक है. Polaris Australis, P-O-L-A-R-I-S, Polaris Australis, A-U-S-T-R-A-L-I-S, Polaris Australis. In bracket you can write Sigma Octantis, O-C-T-A-N-T-I-S, Octantis, ठीक है, bracket close. Polaris Australis, also known as Sigma Octantis, is closest naked eye star, to the south celestial pole, but it is barely visible, on a clear night sky, making it unusable for navigation purpose. ठीक है, all of you. What we'll do is, after the break we'll start off with questions. We'll see these questions and we'll start. This is your pole star, tilted, Earth's tilted axis के साथ aligned है. If you want to see, you can see it via Saptarishi or the Big Dipper. There are 7 question mark, so 7 stars aligned in a question mark. If you connect the first 2 dots, you can see the Polaris. ठीक है. So this is from my side. You can take a break. We'll again meet at 10:30.